Right, let's talk about Endgame, the new book by Omid Scobie. That name might not be familiar to you. He's the author of Finding Freedom, which was a hagiography of Harry and Meghan's exit from the royal family. Just to fill you in on Omid, I mean, I used to work with him because I covered the royal beat for many, many years. He used to come on royal tours, ask me how I broke my stories. I used to tell him, share a bit of my wisdom. And now he is basically in the habit of turning over the royal family in any way he can, seemingly on behalf of the Sussexes, although they insist that they don't brief him at all and that they have no contact with him and they couldn't possibly comment on some of the allegations in this book, which include that Harry is willing to forget the royal row, but Meghan refuses, that Meghan ran Scobie when he was being harassed online. They're not friends, but she did manage to call him when she noticed he was getting some grief on social media. Princess Anne was apparently behind the eviction of the couple from Frogmore. Meghan and Kate were encouraged to dress like Diana. Kate's scared to do anything other than photo ops. Also takes aim at the king, as we would imagine. He's often envious of his son's popularity, said to have used Harry's teenage drug troubles to improve his own image. The King called Harry a fool to do the Netflix series. Probably most people agree with that. William is hot-headed. He's a company man, increasingly willing to allow the palace to deploy dirty tricks. Both him and the princess are said to have found the lampooning of Harry and Meghan on South Park as hilarious. They probably weren't alone there. Let's bring Tom Bower into the conversation. He's a journalist, author and royal biographer. Tom, what do you make of Endgame so far?
Well, I think it's a rather risible and worthless book written by a man who, we've got to remember, completely lied about his sources last time, or told inaccuracies.
He suggested that he didn't have that much contact with the Sussexes, and then during a trial, Meghan's trial for privacy and breach of confidence and data protection, it was discovered that she had actually sent an email where she admitted knowing Omid and perhaps wanting to inform some of Finding Freedom.
No, much more than that, Camilla. What happened was he signed a statement saying it was the truth for the trial against the Mail on Sunday, saying he had no contact whatsoever and no briefing whatsoever from the Sussexes. And we know that the Sussexes spokesman, Jason Knauf, sat for 2 hours with Omid Scobie, reading him the briefing notes that Meghan herself had written.
She didn't hold the microphone. She didn't write the headline. But according to royal biographer Tom Bower, every word felt like it came straight from Meghan herself. A new chapter in the Sussex War, and this time, it's personal. Bower claims that royal author Omid Scobie, long seen as an unofficial Sussex ally, was used as a tool, a messenger for Meghan's true feelings toward the monarchy and her critics. In Bower's words, it's Meghan speaking through him, line by line. This isn't a miscommunication, Bower argues. It's a shameful strategy, undermine the royal family publicly while protecting her own image behind the scenes. A slow-motion character assassination, one calculated quote at a time. Behind palace walls, the gloves are off. While King Charles and Prince William maintain a never complain, never explain approach, Bower says the Sussexes are playing a modern PR war and winning clicks at the Crown's expense. As Bower warns, this isn't just about a family feud. It's about control, influence, and the future of the monarchy itself. Because in this royal war, silence can be more dangerous than any spoken word.
I suppose the more important question is, have they informed this book?
Of course they have. And what he does is, he doesn't actually talk to Meghan directly, as he didn't for Finding Freedom. He talks to the pressman or presswoman. I mean, they change all the time. But the whole point about what I'm trying to say about Omid Scobie is that he was absolutely inaccurate in the sworn statement he made, and that in itself was a catastrophe. Because it, in the end, went against the Mail on Sunday. But the point about the current book is this, that Omid Scobie clearly has nothing new to say. All he's got is silly stories like King Charles irons his shoelaces.
Well, who doesn't? Let's be honest. We've all been there.
But it's worse than that. I do find his attack on Kate really gratuitous, but of course that is very much Meghan speaking.
Well, it's basically depicting Kate as a Stepford wife that doesn't have much use of...
And she's a wonderful woman. She's doing a terrific job. And the point about him, he's looking for headlines, and us sitting here is giving him headlines. But really, he's an incorrigible rascal who's getting away with it.
Scobie brands the institution of monarchy tone-deaf, racist and financially reckless. Although a reviewer has commented, this is quite interesting, Harry and Meghan emerged glowing with goodness like extras from a Ready Brek ad. The Independent gave it 3 out of 5 stars and said that Scobie was unfailingly sympathetic to the Sussexes. He does not hold them accountable for anything. This is the problem. Where's the accountability? Is it everybody else's fault, or might the couple have at times been at fault?
But it's not the trouble. The point is he is their spokesman. That's why we know.
Unofficial?
Well, quite official, because we know...
Unpaid, apart from the proceeds of the
Well, of course, but we know that from Finding Freedom, the statement he signed, which was untrue, inaccurate, whatever you want to call it. Again, he's saying he's had no help. Why would he be praising the Sussexes other than being as their cheerleader? And this is the really important part about this book. It shows the Sussexes are continuing their war. They are all the time looking for a way to needle and to discomfort and to destabilise the royal family because it's in their financial and professional interest. And that is really where the sin of this book is. That actually the attack on the royal family is Meghan and Harry talking in their anger that they can't actually make any headway in California, in America, with their careers, other than by rubbishing the royal family, who tried their hardest to make them feel at home and all the rest of it. And so I think what Scobie's doing is quite shameful, but on the other hand, what I think Meghan and Harry have done is quite shameful, so they're in the same boat.
I mean, he's got his shtick, he's doing his thing, he's making money from it. Is there something slightly admirable about this guy's chutzpah? I mean, he's come up with 2 books. The press are all over it.
Well, they are, because we know from the first book that it was Meghan speaking, and now we know it's Meghan speaking again. And so this isn't because the book contains amazing revelations. It doesn't at all. But we know that he is the tool of the Sussexes. And as the tool of the Sussexes, he has done the best he can to blacken the royal family.
Any hope of reconciliation between the king and his youngest son, or the royal brothers, Tom?
Absolutely not, and nor should there be. I mean, the Sussexes are beyond the pale, and they should stay in Montecito.
Doesn't particularly help the king's image, though, to be estranged from his son, and indeed his grandchildren.
Scobie isn't going to write the 3rd book. I mean, he's busted it now. He's said all he can.
Do you reckon?
Absolutely. Well, he's got nothing new to say in this book.
Might Meghan write a book? I mean, interestingly, Scobie's boasting about knowing who the so-called royal racists are, plural, but he won't name them for legal reasons. Isn't the biggest danger that Meghan pens her own autobiography, blows the whole thing to pieces?
Well, I described in my own book on Meghan who the 2 people were, and there's no legal reason why he can't reveal it. It's just that he's too scared to do it. But the truth is in my book about that. But I do believe that Meghan is writing her book.
Right.
I do believe that will eventually come out. That's how that will be their meal ticket when the Netflix money goes. And that'll be a huge sensation, because Meghan has, what she says will be damning of the royal family, very difficult. And that's why I've always felt that King Charles and the Cambridges have not handled this properly. They should be much more on the front foot. They should actually condemn the lies and the rest that are put out in these sort of books.
Tom Bower, thank you very much, as ever, for your intriguing analysis of this latest book from Omid Scobie. Very much indeed.